Our good friend Freddie Coleman every Friday morning here on Big Board Sports as we talk NFL football and regional teams of interest. And Freddie, of course, beloved here in the Capital Region, and will be here on Tuesday of next week as the Master of Ceremonies, as he always is, for the Coaches vs. Cancer event, the basketball event. Going to be a lot of fun, and can't wait to meet Mike Bray, the Notre Dame basketball coach. And I know, Freddie, you look forward to that each and every year. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, my friend. And I can't wait to see you guys and always being a part of a wonderful event in one of the best areas in the Capital District. So there's plenty of excitement every year, but this year is really going to be cool having Mike Bray there as well from the Notre Dame basketball program.
No doubt. Going to be a lot of fun, and you can still get your tickets. We'll give you more information as we get towards next week, right? Tuesday. Wow. Right here, right around the corner. Probably earlier this year than in most years. Freddie, let's start with Odell. What did you make of what he had to say yesterday? He threw out the 6-8, and I don't know whether the Giants wanted him to throw out there or not, but he did, and he's not close to 6 or 8. Does that mean he's not going to play Monday night against Detroit?
I think he's going to try to do what he did last week against the Cowboys and go out there and give it a go. I still believe, though, that he is going to play on Monday night. And believe me, I get it. When you're a superstar, when you know the team needs you and they can't win without you, it's going to be hard to win without you. You're entitled to certain perks where you were sarcastic about the dance-off with the reporters, even though his response was sarcastic and funny. But Odell Beckham Jr. knows he's in this kind of position. He knows he's going to get his money from the Giants or somebody else, especially after what happened last week. That Giants offense was a shell of itself without that playmaker out there. So he wants to be out there, but if he believes that he can't be the kind of guy that they need, then he's not going to chance it. But I think the more he looks better in practice, the more it's likely that even for certain plays, that I think he'll be out there on Monday, not playing the whole game, but playing a lot more than playing at all compared to last Sunday.
And Freddie, I know how darn good he is and what he means to that team, but shouldn't they have been a little bit better, show us a little more than they did against Dallas on Sunday night?
Well, here's the problem with that, Roger, and you make a fair point, but we always know that Eli Manning, he's going to be at his best when he has that complimentary running game. You can say that about any quarterback in the National Football League, but some quarterbacks can not need it for a stretch and still have that offense percolating. Eli Manning, as we saw with that lack of running game from the offensive line and protection issues, at this point in his career, you can't expect him to put that team on his shoulders and carry them through until they get things right. So now everybody is going to have to raise their level or get to the level that you're going to need, because if you're expecting Eli Manning, hey, carry us until we get things right, at this point in his career, he's unable to do that. And I think we saw that in evidence last week against the Dallas Cowboys, a defense that played better than anybody could have imagined. That pass rush got after Eli Manning, and guys could not separate from defensive backs. You can't expect Eli Manning to be Superman once again like he did during their 2 Super Bowl wins. At this point in his career, he's not that guy.
Freddie, I know the Jets are bad, man, but it's only week 2, and they're going to Oakland as 13.5 or 14-point dogs. Week 2 of 2 professional NFL teams, and Vegas is telling us the Jets are so bad, we've only seen 1 game of them, and we still think they are 2 touchdowns worse than the Raiders.
Las Vegas does not have all those casinos and hotels because they've been wrong all these years, my friend. There's a reason why that they put those kind of odds out there, because they know what they've seen from both of these teams, even after week 1, and what they believe is going to happen in week 2. I clearly understand why that point spread is the way it is, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised it's not 15, and it may get there before the weekend. The Jets could not be historically bad, but they could be very, very awful by the time it's all said and done. And the Raiders, what we saw from them, we knew offensively that they were going to be pretty good. They put up 30 points against Tennessee. But that defense can keep improving. And after dealing with Tennessee, and you're going to play a Jets offense that is nowhere near that, I clearly understand why that point spread is there. And it wouldn't surprise me the Raiders won this game by 15 or 17 points, because they're going to be that good, and the New York Jets are going to be that bad.
Freddie, what would you tell Buffalo Bills fans after what you saw in week 1, albeit against the Jets, and then going to Carolina this week, Panthers favored by 7?
Well, yeah, you just said it, Roger. Albeit against the New York Jets. I mean, that's what I would tell Buffalo Bills fans. I mean, I love the energy that they played, and they're going to be as good as the running game can take them. And they're one of the best running football teams in the NFL. You got LaShawn McCoy and Tyrod Taylor can help out with that as well. So I'm not going to place a lot of stock in week 1. It's better to be 1-0 than 0-1 after playing the New York Jets. But I think they'll be able to hang in with the Carolina Panthers because the Panthers are not the kind of team that's going to run away from you. And they had their struggles, and Cam Newton had his struggles when they beat the San Francisco 49ers. So it's not going to, so I think everybody should expect a game that's going to be 14-13 in the fourth quarter. Either way, whoever's going to be in the lead and have a chance to win the game late. Buffalo's not going to be outplayed that much by Carolina. I still think the Panthers are going to win that game. But the Buffalo Bills, because of the way the Panthers play and the way they play, this is going to be one of those knockdown, drag-out games that we saw last week when they played the Jets.
And one more for me, Freddie, and that is New England. I mean, I know that everyone thinks that they will bounce back at New Orleans, and we've seen them lose games and lose to Kansas City and just get right back at it. But there was something I saw defensively out of them in week one, and the way KC scored up 42 points on them. I don't know how of a quick fix that will be defensively for Belichick. So having said that, what do you expect out of New England here after the loss going to New Orleans?
Well, Roger, that's a great point when you talk about defense with the New England Patriots, because you can only out-scheme people and get away with it for so long. At a certain point, you need a guy that can be that pass rusher, that can come out that corner 150 miles an hour and get you that big play. Right now, the Patriots don't have that. The one thing that's going to help them, in my opinion, is that Saints defense, once again, they tell us each and every year, we're going to be better, and then they expect Drew Brees to carry them home because that defense was awful. If Sam Bradford can look like Sam Bradford at Oklahoma when he won the Heisman Trophy, I can't even imagine what a bitter Tom Brady is going to look like against that defense, even though I don't expect him to throw for close to 400 yards. But the Patriots, the one thing I want to see from this offense, and I saw it last year when Rob Gronkowski went down, Julian Edelman stepped up and replaced his production. I want to see who does that. Can Gronkowski do it? Can Amendola do it? Can somebody do it? But it's going to happen to replace that kind of production that we saw from Julian Edelman. You can't expect the defense to get a pass rush against Drew Brees. He's going to light them up. But if you're the New England Patriots, the running game has to be sound. You can't have guys dropping footballs. And who's going to replace that production that Julian Edelman is going to bring to the table that is not there for the Patriots this year?
Freddie, we can't ignore the Indians, and I'll argue the best part of this winning streak is that Scott Van Pelt gets to drop one of the greatest lines from Tribe Called Quest every time the Indians win a game. Yes. 22 straight, man. Can you try to give us some perspective as to the greatness that exists in this streak for the Indians?
Well, look at it this way, and here's to put it in perspective. They've won 22 in a row, as you mentioned. In 86 games, their last 86 games in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns are 20-66. They have 20 wins in their last 86 games, and the Cleveland Indians have won 22 games in less than a month. The one thing that is, from a great standpoint for this, if you're Major League Baseball, this is great juice for you to have going into the postseason, because we know they're not going to win the rest of their games the rest of the regular season. We all know that. But if you're Major League Baseball, after having what happened last year with the Chicago Cubs, and a team that had the Cubs on the ropes in a 3-1 lead in the World Series, now you get this kind of juice going into the postseason. But why is Major League Baseball not promoting what the Cleveland Indians have done? Is just mind-boggling to me. But the fact of the matter is, Cleveland fans were not really rallying around either. They're going to have a sellout on Friday, but they haven't had a sellout leading up as a part of this streak. So if you're Major League Baseball, promote the daylights out of this, because these kind of things do not come around, and when they do, you should embrace it and let everybody know about it and how great it has been.
Freddie Coleman, you are the best, man. Can't wait to see you on Tuesday. Of course, we'll be there. Look forward to catching up a little bit, and I know the Capital Region just loves when you come into town, and certainly for a very, very special event that we all look forward to and circle on our calendars. That's the Coaches vs. Cancer basketball event that Freddie Coleman will be the master of ceremonies of once again. Thank you, Freddie.
My pleasure, partner. I'll see you on Tuesday, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next week as well.